Hey film enthusiasts! Today we're exploring a collection of deeply emotional and thought-provoking stories about the fragile, often forbidden bonds between teachers and students. These films aren't just about romance, they're about human connection, vulnerability, and the tension that arises when admiration and guidance blur into something more. Each story captures the intense emotions that can emerge when boundaries are tested, and every choice carries weighty consequences. Let's begin with Molly Maxwell. Molly is a bright, sensitive high school student who often feels like an outsider. Books and literature are her refuge, and she finds herself drawn to the charisma of a young English teacher who recognizes her curiosity and intellect. Their conversations, initially about literature and ideas, slowly grow into emotional intimacy. Molly's admiration deepens, and she begins to confuse this closeness with something more romantic. Every moment they share teeters on a delicate edge, where every word and gesture has the potential to cross-line society warns them never to breach. The film carefully explores how admiration can evolve into desire and how easy it is to misinterpret emotional intimacy as romance. Yet, the story also highlights the stark realities of consequence, how one small emotional misstep can ripple outward, affecting lives in ways both expected and unforeseen. By focusing on inner emotions rather than overt drama, the film emphasizes the complexity of human feelings and the dangers of crossing boundaries, all while portraying the characters with empathy. Molly's story is a reminder that the line between guidance and attachment is delicate, and that growth, support, and genuine connection can sometimes be mistaken for something more, with outcomes that can surprise and challenge us. Next up is Black Island, 2021. Jonas, reeling from a personal tragedy, moves to a remote island to finish school and rebuild his life. There, a perceptive young teacher recognizes his talent for writing and encourages him to pursue it. Their bond grows slowly, built on long conversations and quiet moments of understanding. At first, it feels entirely nurturing and supportive, but as they spend more time together, subtle tensions emerge. Warm glances and shared confidences gradually create a romantic undertone. Jonas must navigate the uncertainty of feelings that may not be as innocent as they seem, realizing that trust and genuine connection can sometimes be tangled with hidden motives. Then there's For You to Tell the Truth, 2020. This series explores a teacher-student relationship that begins with mentorship and care, but evolves into something far more complex. The story is told from multiple perspectives, showing how every choice and emotional impulse can trigger a cascade of consequences. As boundaries blur, both the teacher and the student find themselves trapped by emotions they cannot easily control. Every conversation, every small gesture, weighs heavily on their conscience. The narrative examines responsibility, ethics, and the unpredictability of human emotion when societal norms collide with personal longing. Both stories share a common thread: the tension between genuine care and the allure of deeper emotional bonds. They explore the consequences of stepping too close to the line and ask difficult questions about trust, intentions, and the emotional fallout of crossing boundaries. Outside in 2017 tells the story of Chris, who returns to his hometown after years in prison. His past haunts him at every turn, and most people are wary or distrustful. The only person willing to extend a helping hand is his former teacher. She offers him guidance, support, and a chance to rebuild his life. Their mentorship grows gradually into an emotional connection as shared stories of regret, hope, and dreams create a bond deeper than simple guidance. Chris comes to see her as someone who genuinely believes in him. The story examines how emotional connections can serve as both healing and a challenge, forcing characters to confront past mistakes and the consequences of trust. In 1% More Humid, 2017, Iris is a young woman struggling with grief and uncertainty after losing someone dear. At university, She meets a professor who notices her creative potential and encourages her to express herself through writing. Their conversations about life, pain, and purpose gradually become intensely personal. As they share thoughts and fears, Iris begins to see him as more than a mentor. A subtle, unspoken tension develops, highlighting the moral and emotional dilemmas that come with deep connections. The story explores vulnerability, the human desire for understanding, and the complexity of navigating feelings when social and ethical boundaries are at play. Both films demonstrate how mentorship can sometimes blur into intimacy, and how navigating emotional closeness requires awareness, responsibility, and careful reflection. At Least I Know It Is Not Love, Darling, 2015, follows a young woman moving to the city in search of independence and self-discovery. She encounters a man who becomes a mentor, guiding her through new experiences and life decisions. Over time, the bond deepens, shifting from guidance to a connection filled with subtle emotional tension. The story highlights the challenges of growing up, exploring the complexity of trust, affection, and the sometimes unexpected consequences of deep emotional bonds. It shows that personal growth often comes hand in hand with moral and emotional challenges. Mo, 2019, tells the story of a teenager struggling to be understood. He often feels isolated, but one teacher sees his potential and engages him in thoughtful conversations about fears, dreams, and life choices. Their relationship builds trust and understanding, yet the lines between care, guidance, and attachment become blurred. Mo begins to see this teacher as someone essential in his life, sparking questions about boundaries and emotional responsibility. The film explores how easily compassion can shift into something more complex, and how both mentors and students must navigate feelings that are not easily defined. Both stories examine the delicate balance of emotional closeness, showing that even well-intentioned relationships can become ethically and emotionally complicated when feelings deepen beyond the intended boundaries. Gaurav and Anna, 2014, offers a modern retelling of classic Forbidden Desires. A young woman forms a professional relationship with her mentor, which gradually evolves into a deep emotional connection. Their conversations move from practical advice to reflections on life, dreams, and personal ambitions. Every step they take is fraught with the tension between desire and societal expectation, highlighting the challenges of pursuing emotional fulfillment while respecting boundaries. The story captures how feelings can test personal values and challenge ethical limits, all within the frame of ordinary life and decision-making. Amor Bandido, 2021, focuses on a woman attempting to leave her past behind and build a new life. Along the way, a man emerges as a mentor and source of inspiration. Their relationship begins as guidance but slowly deepens into personal, emotional territory. They face moral dilemmas and difficult decisions, forced to weigh duty against desire. The narrative is rich with tension, hope, and moments where a single choice can change everything. It explores how emotional connections can motivate, inspire, or challenge us in unexpected ways, particularly when they cross socially prescribed boundaries. These films highlight how strong emotional bonds can exist in complex spaces where ethics, responsibility, and personal growth intersect. The Freshly Cut Grass, 2024, follows a woman working in education who feels trapped in a life lacking purpose. A young student becomes a mirror for her own fears, desires, and questions about the future. Their conversations, filled with emotional tension, explore choices, ambition, and the interplay between professional responsibility and personal feelings. The story examines the delicate balance teachers must maintain when forming close relationships with students. Every moment of guidance carries weight, and emotional connection can spark self-reflection, growth, or confusion. The film emphasizes introspection, showing how interactions that seem simple can carry profound emotional significance. Through this narrative, viewers witness how personal crises, mentorship, and ethical responsibility can intertwine, creating a nuanced exploration of human emotion, temptation, and the challenges of connection in structured environments. The film is a meditation on boundaries, choices, and the quiet intensity of relationships that might never be openly acknowledged but are deeply felt. So here is our expanded collection of 10 films exploring complex teacher-student bonds where emotions run deep and boundaries are tested. They remind us that mentorship, support, and guidance are powerful, but they also carry the responsibility of navigating emotions ethically and thoughtfully. These films explore the intersections of desire, ethics, personal growth, and emotional risk. They ask difficult questions. How far should connection go? What is the cost of misinterpreted feelings? How do personal desires meet societal expectations? If these stories resonated with you, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing in the comments which narrative moved you most. Cinema allows us to examine the complexity of human emotion and the choices that define our lives. Let these stories inspire reflection, empathy, and a deeper understanding of the nuanced ways we connect with others.